All right, there's some bubbling behind the surface stuff coming up from the Action Network and Sports Illustrated's Ross Dillinger also talking about it, that Texas and Oklahoma may well figure out how to get to the SEC by 2024. I do want to make sure to read what they say and report exactly because I'm just commenting on the reporting. This is something that folks have been trying to figure out how to see if this is happening for a while. But anyway, Brett McMurphy over at the Action Network says there is, quote, growing sentiment and, quote, momentum for Oklahoma and Texas to leave the Big 12 a year early and join the SEC in 2024. Industry sources told the Action Network the Big 12's current grant of rights expires on July 1st, 2025. Texas and OU have indicated they are committed to remaining to the Big 12 until then, but moving to the SEC. But before moving to on to the SEC in 25, however, the timetable has since been accelerated and could even get complicated by next month. Yada yada yada. So really, part of what's going on, there's a lot of mess right here in all of this discussion because um, the Big 12 has added some teams that Texas and Oklahoma will have to play. Texas and Oklahoma are not the best teams of the Big 12 right now. It remains to be seen if they'll be the best teams when they join the SEC. Does not look like they're necessarily prepared to do that, but that's okay. This is really probably a television play. So here's what happened: the college football playoff finally got an expansion done for 2024. That opens the doorway for you to have a bigger situation in your conference. You're going to start seeing the possibility of a 9-game schedule in the SEC starting in 2024. Let me lay the landscape out for Georgia first. So in 24, Georgia plays Tech at home. Obviously, they go to Florida for the in Jacksonville. They open the season with Clemson at Mercedes-Benz. Now, that's in 2024. They also are scheduled to play Tennessee Tech and UMass. So that's Clemson, Tennessee Tech, UMass, and Georgia Tech. They're not playing all those games. That's not happening because I'm not reporting that. I'm just saying if they're going to a 9-game SEC schedule, which is what will happen as soon as Texas and Oklahoma come in, because you're not going to have divisions, um, one of these games will not get played. Now, my suspicion is they will still play Clemson. Well, I am certain they will play Georgia Tech. Let's start with that. My suspicion is that they will still play Clemson. I don't think, if I'm guessing here, it would be that UMass is the game that's not played. But I literally only say that because it's further in the schedule. For instance, would you really want to play Clemson and then a week later play South Carolina or Auburn, or Tennessee or Kentucky or play at Texas A&M? The answer to that is no. So I think that the likelihood of some change in the schedule is pretty significant if what Brett and other folks are reporting is true, which I have no reason to doubt what they're saying. I mean, listen, they're reporting it. I'm just telling you, this is very likely that this is going to happen one way or the other because just look at the television contracts. Texas and Oklahoma are ready to leave the Big 12, period. The Big 12 is ready for them to leave, it seems to me. So, with all of that said, how is everybody going to get um, what they want? Isn't that so much about what we talk about? Hey, by the way, get what you want for Christmas. Order this for yourself. Destruction. I nearly didn't plug it. Hey, sorry, haters. We're always going to plug it. Get it today. The link is down below. Get the book today so that I'm not freaking out going to the post office. Okay? Get it now. It's a great, great Christmas gift. I do not have any Keely Ringo signed ones remaining. I have this one, but y'all can't get it because there's none left. But anyway, this is a celebration of Georgia's national championship in 2021. Disney totally wants Oklahoma and Texas in the SEC. There's a lot of reasons why, and they're mainly dollar bills. Secondly, the conference, it allows the new SEC to be cemented and push forward for the next probably 12 years minimum, starting in 24. Uh, it will allow Texas and Oklahoma to start playing basketball and all the other sports in the league. But more than that, you'll get to see these huge games starting in 2024. And when I mean huge, I mean the league. I don't think they'll do this, but let's just play ball a little bit. What if the league says to Gary Stokan and the Chick-fil-A Bowl, hey, it's really awesome that you got Clemson invited, but what about Texas? What about Texas, Georgia to open the 2024 season? I know Gary and company really enjoy having Clemson. I know they would about flip out if they could get Clemson with, say, Georgia Tech or someone else to start the season on a Monday night, and they got Texas, Georgia to start the season. Now, Georgia might not go for that because Georgia may say, well, we want to play that game in Athens, or whatever. But um, these games are coming. You know, these games are coming. Everybody who wants a really good schedule, everybody who wants night games, you're about to get it. You're going to get through the 23 season, but you're about to get it. This Tech Georgia game in Athens, that's the last time that game is going to be controlled or dictated by what happens on CBS. From now on out, Disney can structure these games however they want. They can put Tech Georgia on Friday. They saw what happened with Florida State, Florida. Those are two bigger brands than Tech Georgia. Georgia, Florida, Florida State, Tech. Georgia is clearly the biggest of the four, but when you combine Tech and Georgia, they're not as big as Florida, Florida State. So you're going to start to see, how can we do this? How can we plan? How can we stick things where we want them to go? But there's legalese going on here too. Texas and Oklahoma can't say to the Big 12, we want to leave now. Because there's just too much in the way. It's too expensive. There's legal entanglements. It's just not worth the trouble. So they're willing to wait until 25. But I think you're going to see this get done because there's something about knowing a divorce is coming that gets really people going. And they really would like to get off of Fox and get it to where they're not kicking off. Oklahoma is not hosting Nebraska and kicking off at noon. Texas hosting Alabama, and they're kicking off at noon. They want those games at night. They want those games not at 11 o'clock local. They want those games. The folks in the television trucks, they want Georgia, Texas. They want Florida, Oklahoma. They want Arkansas, Texas. They want Georgia, Alabama every other year. They want Florida. Florida's a bad example. They want Auburn, Texas. They want all these games. They want LSU, Georgia one season, and the season after that they get Alabama, Georgia, and then the year after that they get LSU, Georgia. They want all these games. They want these games. Y'all want these games. And now that we've got a 12-team playoff that is going to ruin college football, you get big, huge home games in Athens. So you're getting what you want. You're just not getting all of what you want. You do not get the cherry on top. But you get your night game against Auburn. You get your night game against Texas. You're getting everything you want. You're also going to have to play on the road at Tennessee. The Tennessee game, it was fun while it lasted. That's what I'll say about that. They're not going to play every year. And then maybe they don't play South Carolina every year. These are the new realities of football. It also means some of us are not going to be going to Missouri every other year. Please, Greg Sankey, please, let's make that happen. Let them play people out there. Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, there's no reason for those schools to go all the way to Middle Earth to play football games. It's insane, And for what? So they can break Missouri's heart over and over and over again? Let's acknowledge there was a reason for that, and we did it for 10 years, and let's move on, But I think that you're going to see 2024, become, the time when there's going to be a reset of everything in college football. The playoff will start 12 game that year. You're also going to have a clearly changing conferences with Texas and Oklahoma, and I believe Oklahoma and I believe UCLA and SC, if UCLA can get out of its regents' ways. We'll see if that works. But all of that stuff. Hey, look, you can pick up the book at Red Zone in Athens. I failed to mention that earlier. They have a fair amount of books. Get it today because I've got to get them more books because I can see how this is going. This is an awesome Christmas gift. You know it, I know it, and that's why everybody's ordering it. Well, everybody's ordering them. I will run out of them, or it's going to be right on top of Christmas and I can't get them to you on time. Order them today, or go to Red Zone on Clayton Street today, and that's in Athens. Get it today. And by the way, all I've got to sell are books. So Red Zone has all sorts of gear that you can get, celebrating the 21 National Championship, getting ready for the Peach Bowl. It's all there. But we're going to see in 24 a very new college football. And, I'm thinking of the guys at Red Zone, Minnie and Scott and all of them, and how they have to structure their day on Saturdays, which is a huge, home Saturdays are huge. And you're going to see really big home Saturdays. One year, you're going to have Auburn, LSU, and Tech. Just these are examples. The next year, you're going to have Alabama, Oklahoma, and Texas. These are home games. This is what's going to happen. So if you wanted better seat or better games, you're going to get them. You're going to get losses. But it's not going to matter as much because you're going to be filtering into what is a probable 12 game. I just don't know that Georgia or Clemson, for that matter, will miss the playoff anytime soon. And then you're gonna have the possibility, if you don't win the league, you're gonna have the possibility or probability in Georgia's case of hosting, Penn State or Clemson or Florida State or South Carolina or Auburn or Tennessee or Alabama. Or Washington State. But anyway, this is the new future, and I think that it's only a matter of time before this happens. It's either going to be 25 or it's all going to happen in 24. My suspicion, it's all going to happen in 24. You watch.